Hello everyone and welcome back to a much requested video. So obviously my darling Wilma has been here for over a week now. Oh, I better let the cameraman through the gate. Come on, Grantlands Media. But you guys have been desperate to know kind of the ins and outs, firstly of how you go about getting a horse over from Ireland. Guys, she's learning to come to me. We don't do walking to catch our horses here at Elphick.Event.Ponies. Good girl. Oh, so close. She says, let me sniff these. Yeah, you guys have been really interested to know what it's like actually arranging to get a horse over from Ireland, because obviously it is a bit different. She had to go on a ferry, and you've been desperate to see the footage from her second viewing. So I thought I'd use this video. Good girl. Also, look how lush her new head colour is. This is from Lumiere. It's their spruce, all matching. Yeah, spruce colour, so their new autumn winter one. Gorgeous. But yeah, that's going to be this video. It's just kind of going over what it was all like and showing you her second video and how I decided, her second viewing, sorry, how I decided that she is going to be the horsey for me. Hey, gorgeous girly. Right, let's get you in. Good girl. Come on then. She has to wear a bib because she's a little bit delicate. So she's just gonna have a little nibble of a nice pure feed. It's weird having a horse that literally like doesn't get fat when they look at grass, although I think she has. She's already put on weight with us. I think we're feeders here. She's looking really good, but yeah, she's kind of having like smaller, more regular feeds than the others, because if you give her a massive feed, she like, I don't know, gets overwhelmed. Wilma, I can't relate, babe, but you do you. Wilma's taking a little bit too long to eat, and because of daylight saving time, we are gonna have to get cracking on, Wilma, and brush you, because I'm going to have a little ride on her, which can be included in a different video. But for the purposes of this story, let's pretend that we've already done the second viewing. I'm going to show you that footage after this, guys, and fast forward to that point in the airport where I rang our Deo and said I would like to buy her. We had actually already agreed our price at the second viewing. So yeah, that's why I didn't say a price on that video. So step one of buying a horse, guys, is agree a price with the people, or yeah, might be the asking price, might be whatever. So the next port of call was to arrange a vetting and transportation. So I was really lucky that lovely Abby, who I went with, has got very good contacts in Ireland, and she knows a fabulous vet who I don't know if they want to be named or not, but I'll name the practice. So I used Equivet. They're amazing, like one of the best in Ireland, or at least I think so. I mean, that's based on my opinion. It's not based on any research, but they've got a very good reputation. So I got the vetting all booked in, and then for transport, because we've imported horses from Ireland before, it was quite easy in a way. So we've used various companies before, and obviously I've got other friends who have used companies. So I decided to go with Mullins in the end. They did an amazing job, spoke to them on the phone. They were really sweet, really easy to deal with. And yeah, they picked her up from our Deo in like a nice little 3.5 ton box. This is kind of why I chose them, because they could pick her up and then they take her, I don't know if their stables are at the port or they're certainly nearby, but they were able to get her in the afternoon and then take her back and put her in a stable, so she wasn't just sitting on a box for an annoying amount of time. I know it's not a particularly long journey over from Ireland, like not compared to what, you know, loads of other horses do going to America and whatnot. But still, it was nice to know that they were reducing the amount of time that she was spending in a box. So yeah, they picked her up, popped her in a box, and then got the 10:30 at night ferry, although it was delayed. And yeah, literally delivered to our doorstep, as you guys saw in the horse bus, as people have been calling it. So you've arranged transport, you've had your vetting. Oh, I forgot to say, I had a 5-stage vetting with her, and I was actually really lucky in that I had the same vet her as when the previous owners, when Ardeo bought her. So they already had the x-rays from her, so I was really lucky that actually saved a bit of money that way. But because she's the most expensive horse I've ever bought. She's probably cheap by some people's standards, but definitely not for me. So I knew that I wanted to get x-rays just to make sure that I didn't fall in love with a horse and put my heart and soul into it and then come across something nasty. So that was good. So had the x-rays, had the 5-stage, and that brings me on to the next thing, which I do want to talk about. They are actually the sponsor of this video, but I did want to talk about this anyway, because I feel like it is quite an important topic that sometimes we don't talk about because it's not the most glamorous, but as I said, it's massively important. So that is insuring your new horse. So big shout out to Howden for very kindly sponsoring this video. So as I just mentioned, Wilma is more expensive than anything else in this barn, certainly what we paid for them anyway. So it was quite a nerve-wracking, stressful time buying her. So I knew that I wanted to have a really amazing insurance company behind us. They are horses, they do stupid things, they get illnesses and whatnot. And having insurance there, I always see it as a bit of a safety blanket, to be honest. And you know that you're going to be able to cover, God forbid, there's no wood, but you know, if anything ever does happen in terms of an injury or colic, the vet bills are really expensive. So I would always recommend having the insurance there, like I said, as a safety blanket to make sure that in the worst case scenarios, you can do what is best for the horse. So I had to do quite a lot of kind of looking around, because I was told whilst I was out in Ireland that the issue I was going to face is that people won't insure you for travelling them over, which is obviously, in my mind, was completely ridiculous, because I 100% wanted this horse insured when someone else was driving her, she was going on a ferry. Like, it seemed madness to me to not have her insured. So I had to do quite a lot of looking around, and that is one of the reasons that I went down the path of using Howden, because they would insure her literally from the second I bought her. That was it, like I was going to be covered, and I was going to be covered for the travel. So that was what I was, especially wanting. So I had a really nice conversation with them. You actually get to speak to someone on the phone, which is lovely. They went through everything with me. It can be a little bit of a minefield, I always find, because you don't know exactly what you need. Because, you know, there's some things that I would need that someone else wouldn't, and vice versa. So they were really sweet on the phone. They didn't try and upsell me or anything like that. They were dead honest, which I just always really appreciate. Full disclosure, this was before there was any talk of us actually working together. The reason I ended up reaching out to them afterwards, because they were just so fantastic. I had such a great experience with them on the phone, and like I said, they covered the things I wanted to cover. They were also really reasonable. So yeah, I reached out to them, and that is how they are the sponsor of this video. But no, I just wanted to have a little chat with you guys about that and let you know, so that if you've got a horse that maybe their insurance is about to run out on, or perhaps they're not insured, but you're thinking actually like it would be a good thing to do, I would 100% recommend going over to the Howden website and just getting on the phone with them and having a chat with them. That's all it is, it's a chat, and they'll give you a quote. They also do Horsebox Insurance, which I'm definitely going to be utilising next year, but that's another story for another day. But yeah, a massive thank you to Howden for sponsoring this video. Wilma, you are now all tacked up, which means we are going to go and jump to a different video, which will be coming shortly after this. But that's fine, because we're actually heading back to the Emerald Isles itself to go over your second viewing footage and have a little debrief on that.
So finally guys, the second viewing of Wilma. I know earlier in this video I said that she's been here for like a week or two or something. This was filmed a while ago, but it's been so hectic that it's only just going out now. But I think it's going to be worth the wait. So you'll notice if you've watched the Island series that we are not at the home of Ardeo. So they very, very kindly boxed her away to a different venue. Although they have like the most amazing facilities, they were really sweet and they're like, look, I think you should try her away from home so it gives you a better idea of what she's like. And obviously, you know, she's brilliant away from home as well, but it was really sweet of them to actually offer that, because horses can really differ when you take them away from their kind of normal situation. So yeah, it was just nice to see how she reacted when she was out and about. I also want to add that a massive green flag when seeing horses is whether the owners like openly offer for you to come back for a second viewing. Because some of the places we went that haven't actually been included on YouTube, you could tell it was very much like they were pressuring me to leave a deposit there and then. And it just always gave me very bad vibes. Whereas Ardeo, before I'd even come for the first viewing, were like, look, come and see her early in the week, because then if you like her, you've got time to come back and see her again. And instantly, it really put me at ease. I knew they were prepared to put the time into making sure that we were a good partnership. They wanted me to really, really like her. And yeah, it was a massive, massive green flag. And I can't thank Ardeo enough for how brilliant and how supportive they were throughout the whole viewing process and afterwards. Like, we still keep in touch now. And yeah, they were just fantastic. Anywho, so you'll see beautiful arena with a few cross-country fences and a few show jumping fences. It's actually a really lovely place. I've annoyingly forgotten the name of it, but it wasn't too far from Dublin. I'm sure one of you amazing viewers will know. Comment down below. So I had a good trot round, kind of wanted to assess like how spooky she was, and to my delight, she's really not particularly spooky. So then had a like nice canter. I experimented more this day with the schooling side of things. So I wanted to gauge what her kind of attitude was like and whether she got marish when I put more pressure on, if that makes sense. So obviously not at all in a nasty way, but I just wanted to like actually get her working a little bit more like how you would perhaps at a competition, and just seeing if she could deal with the pressure and deal with being sort of held together and how she reacted. Absolutely fine, still ears pricked. And then obviously I had a little bit of a bigger canter just to see how much she could move, see what her stride length was like. Very, very happy with all of that. And then we got jumping. Such a sweet little girl. So the aim of this session was kind of to see how she reacted with different fences in a different place. Also, I wanted to have a little bit more of a jump just to get a bit more of a feel of her kind of scope and everything. Ardeo also really generously lent me a body protector because we're doing fixed fences. Very, very sweet of them. So then we had a little splash around in the water. This was lovely to see her in a different water complex. Again, they had water at theirs, which is amazing, but nice to see how she reacted with a different one. I also wanted to trot her in. I find this is a really good way of seeing if horses are genuinely okay with water, or if they're just being honest and going through it walk. So if you add a bit of speed, sometimes they can absolutely, you know, freak and they won't go in at that speed. But I could tell as soon as I trotted her in, she was very established with like being fine with water. So then we played over this little bank. She was being really sweet. See, she's like a tiny bit hesitant, but only in a really honest way. And I think she could tell that I was nervous, and she's quite a sensitive little mare, and she obviously was like, okay, like what's wrong? Like I need to be really, really careful because I can feel that this human like here, look at her, bless her, but she still always goes. And it made me fall in love with her even more, to be honest, because I was just like, oh, you're just so sweet. And I love a horse that's in tune with me, and I just feel instantly, you know, she was thinking about how I was feeling up top. So yeah, had a play of all those fences, and then it was time to actually jump. So popped over that little house to start with. Like, it's kind of skinny, so as I was catching up to it, I was like, oh god, should I have found something a little bit, you know, like more basic, like a log or something. But Wilma, absolute star. Like, she's very straight and very, very honest. She definitely wants to help you out, and Ardeo have produced her in a really lovely way, and they've produced her nice and slowly, and I could tell when I was cantering around, like, this horse has the basics, which is all you really want. So then I jumped this slightly bigger fence, definitely needed more oomph. You'll see, I mean, you'll notice definitely at the end she's like steaming. So she is actually already starting to get a little bit tired here. She's not like crazy fit. Obviously going into winter, there was no need for her to be mega fit. But again, she just still pops through. I was chuffed with her that she did that, because we were a little bit close to that and she was just dead honest and just got us out of it. So then I jumped a slightly bigger show jump. Maybe it's nearly a metre, perhaps not quite. Just wanted to see what kind of feeling she gave me over a bigger fence. And you can see, again, she is getting tired, but she keeps going for you. She's so honest. That cross-country fence, again, with the brush, was probably about a metre. Super easy. I thought it would be a good one to jump because of it being very bright green, and like sometimes they can spook a bit of brush. So I wanted to see how she reacted to that, and she was golden. There was also, on the far side, I jumped this kind of like fake ditch. It wasn't like properly filled in, but it was like 2 logs. Oh look, they're literally pointing to it there, and a really skinny barrel. So I just wanted to test that she'd do skinnies, and she was amazing. So I'm not gonna lie, guys, I knew about halfway through that session that Wilma was coming home with me, so I made sure that I had a little photo shoot with her after the viewing, and then this is how we celebrated in the car after. I've had to mute it because otherwise I'll get demonetized, but the song is about a woman playing a fiddle in an Irish band that falls in love with an English man. I'm sure you can guess what it is, but yeah, that was my second viewing with Wilma.
So that was it. That was what sold me. I mean, I was pretty smitten after the first viewing, to be honest. But yeah, that second one just kind of solidified it for me. But we're now back in England and it's time for a winter of training. So a massive thank you to Howden for sponsoring this video, and a big thank you to you guys for watching it. It feels quite sad that that's the end of all of the island videos, but it has been really fun. And yeah, like I said, it's kind of the start of a new chapter now for me and Wilma, of her being back in England and getting ready to hopefully do some eventing next year. We'll get you out to some shows in the new year, I think, Wilma will. Anyway, I live, laugh, love you guys. If you want to see how my riding session goes right now, you're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to subscribe actually, and make sure that you tick the notification icon so that you get a notification when my week in the life of Wilma video goes live, which has got loads of exciting riding footage in. Right, Wilma, we're gonna lose the light. Live, love, love ya.